1018, 1020, over. Ten 18, 1020, over. State your message, sir, over.
But you said... never mind.
10-9, repeat message, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious...
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Oh goddamn it! Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this.
Satellite Officer Vikmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation of the entire station. Over.
Mullen dicked us.
He's asking you to stop, says this is serious.
Of course it's serious. He lost.
Satellite Officer Vikmar concurs, losing your badge is serious. Oh. 10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge. Super Cop here lost his badge.
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asks you to please stop saying he lost his badge. Sergeant Orson was wondering if you found your badge yet. Over.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it. 10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? No. It's gone. It's not fucking on you.
Ten 9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over. Ten 1, you're breaking up. 10-9, repeat please. Over. Ten 9, come in, officer. Over.
Even before you can get the words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain.
He says he didn't lose his gun. Or his fun, whatever that means.
Ask him to describe it. His gun, not his fun. Just the gun will do.
Satellite Officer McLean requests a description of your weapon. Over.
Oh, request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
It's a single-shot kill A9. An armistice, to be precise.
Says it's a kill 9...
Armistice? What, is he a fucking... Clearly he doesn't have his Villiers anymore. This isn't really a laughing matter.
Mac can face a giant of Coco Nur by himself. But Disco here made him piss his pants.
I'm not going to. Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over. That's a negative. Not going to say that. Over. He said he sodomized your mother.
Sure her vanilla waffles were the only thing he ate?
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his mother. Over. He says he's sorry and didn't mean nothing by it.
Tell him to find his goddamn badge and gun. That's the only thing that matters here.
Satellite Officer I'm going to report that you are in pursuit of your service weapon. Over. You need further assistance. Over. Okay, I hear you. Really?
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be smart about this. Ask if he's there alone.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question. For well, that's
Does he actually want something, or is he hell-bent on disrupting our work?
He asked if he ever told me about his days before joining the RCN.
For God's sake, cut this shit out! Tell him to stop wasting time and be a goddamn policeman for a change.
Sir, Satellite Officer Vicmar says... So, was there anything else? 10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Over.
What? What is it? What can he possibly still want?
He seems intoxicated and keeps asking me to call him by his name.
Mullen's drunk and emotionally aggressive. That's new.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics.
Then,
You probably don't want to continue on this road.
Come again, sir, I didn't get that. 10-9, over. That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12 here, over.
What? What is it? He's still on the line?
He wants to verify the information on his badge.
Tell him to stop wasting time.
What do you need, sir? Over. Understood, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered around Communication Officer Jules Oldboy Pidier, around a dozen cops. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minot enters. Her left arm is in bandages, and her hair trimmed short.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He's lost his badge and his sidearm. He seemed confused, delirious even.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner, Chester McLean, near the entrance.
Yeah, Mac's right. That was some gnarly shit there.
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is. He's a cop. He's one of us, goddamn this.
We must help him.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on carrot juice? He's a lost man.
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words. This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain, or anyone else. We'll give him a couple of days to pull his shit together.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our laughs. Now get back to work.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work. It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Police issue, blue. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand. You can do good work with these. Cut chains, locks, and ropes, especially belts. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think. useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. Okay, 10-4, sir.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be smart about this. Ask if he's there alone.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question. Understood, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
This is the Cupri's Kinema, my motor carriage. You can use the toolbox and the radio if you'd like.
Motor carriage, motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat. Nothing. It's probably nothing. Forget I brought it up. Please proceed with the carefree lollygagging.
No, I'm afraid not. We have a murder case on our hands, remember? Yes, sorry about that. The Cupri's Kinema does have a rather distinctive engine sound.
He says it with very badly concealed pride.
The Cupri's motorcar does provide most of our patrol vehicles, yes.
But this is different. This is a sports model.
You're right. I didn't take you for a motorcar enthusiast. Do you also like Tip Top, Detective? An interstellary racing series. You should definitely give it a go if you like motor carriages. It has fantastic competition.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out tube. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch, labeled heat.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Translation. We're not going anywhere right now. Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC.
What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know, to help me narrow it down a bit. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. To find him or her is one of our tasks here. For now, All we know is that the tone was muffled, using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's right. I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. Better still than an imbecile cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? There's no reason to wing anything. If you didn't get the brief, that's okay. I did. 3 days ago, during that, a security guard or worker to find him or her. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was Good point. Martinez is famed for its occult sex murder rites. We'll get on it immediately.
The wary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
No, not really. Was there...
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery in your head, with a dark twist even. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit, then hit him with it.
Good.
banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you. The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. It's just a memory.
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand. Yes, you might even call it a feature of the universe that you need to hold tools to use them. I'm sorry, the fundamental laws of the universe don't seem to agree with you, Detective, but the fact remains that it's too dark to see in here without a flashlight. So come on, we've got work to do.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Yes. Is that the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Fortress accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day.
That's why she does this.
Now, Please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident. Good. Please repeat the password. No. Still no. I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder, Fortress Accident, without fight.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Received. I will...
Don't worry.
Fortress Accident, thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Nothing happens. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of Welkins. You make out autumnal candle Welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent Welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether Welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Tworg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. Postcard reads, the heat-death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, see the prod schedule filament for details. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, Tune out, Wirral Untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe. Tiles on the cube are still like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. The speaker comes.
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the past.
Don't worry.
Fortress accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoke. Tiles on the cube. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. Take it. You're a police officer. Police officers carry guns.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the Ice Bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Coloring looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing? Wait, really? You should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then, you've awakened the entity. A low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramuh Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint. Three dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks, telling stories of your wild soul.
What are you doing? Please wipe your face clean, officer.
These three stripes give you strength in this dangerous realm. It would be foolish to remove them.
And this protects you? Okay, sure. Go ahead.
The hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads. And what's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf? Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick Mullen. The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. Still, it's deep. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the depth to the east, rolling hillsides. Le Jardin, Huron. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre- and post-factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this? The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pearl. The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the Pearl, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near Pearl. It is, and good for the circulation too. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the Pearl. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the Pearl and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired. Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. Is it any more improbable than anything else that human beings put their faith in? For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the Pale, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it. Indeed. Something about that book does seem to have spoken to you. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for. Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh, no.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinaise, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Cyr, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Sully Soif.
Really? You don't have a single... Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. Inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an off-site copy.
Someone who owns a radio computer? My guess is as good as yours, officer.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand. You slip your fingers under. If you want to try again, this orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge. You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eye.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open. I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the Ice Bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty. You see the pry bar's metal handle bent.
Yeah, well, I have no idea, officer. These ice...
Sooner or later, you will... An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. This button looks new.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Silence. No one answers your call. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid, as the body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death. Force time isn't happening. You've jammed the pry bar under the lid, but it just isn't bending.
The quality of metal is not the problem. From what I see, it's sturdy enough.
He's enjoying your little failure. He finds it amusing. He's reveling in sweaty rage on your face. There's a creaking sound as the pry bar slips under the lid. You hang from it like a moron, huffing and puffing. Clearly the technique is wrong, but nothing else comes to mind. You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw. No, it's many years of combined self-neglect and self-abuse. All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark, you don't even see her face. Like you always thought you would. You only see